There's this beautiful tradition of epic poetry in Punjab and in Sindh. And this is one of those well-known epics called Saif al-Muluk, where the poet Mian Muhammad Baksh, what he did was he took a folk love story of the prince Saif al-Muluk and the fairy princess and the evil giant demon, and he turned it into a Sufi parable. And it's a thick book, and the beauty about it is that if you take most of the verses separately, they also make sense, and they reflect a part of just the people's wisdom, just folk wisdom. So this is also once I was traveling by train from Lahore to Hyderabad, and there was a film crew with me. They were making a documentary, and they were supposed to film my interactions with my fellow passengers. So I was in a separate coupe, and as soon as I walked into the coupe, I saw that there were 4 other passengers, and 2 of them belonged to the Tablighi Jamaat, which are like the Islamic version of Jehovah's Witnesses. and they're very uniformed, and they're pretty boring and tedious, and they give you a hard time about, they're relentless in their preaching. So I walked in and I said, oh God, I have to spend the next 18 hours over here, So my first reaction was to walk out, but then I said, no, why all this prejudice in your heart, just because these people have beards and have a uniform they're wearing. So I made a supreme effort, and I came and I sat down with them, and as soon as the train started moving, they started preaching. And the other 2 passengers, they were looking down and out of the window and pretending they weren't there. And I forced myself to listen to them, and to listen to them carefully, and to try to understand where they're coming from, what they're actually trying to say to me, and what they want, And after listening to them for a good 20, 25 minutes, half an hour, I figured out that these people are very genuine. They believe in what they're preaching. In their books, they are on the righteous path. And there's also a sense of self-righteousness about them, because they feel that we travel all over in these worn-out shoes and in this one pair of clothes, and while other people are just in their mundane lives amassing wealth and don't care about humanity and the world. So they have this tone of self-righteousness about them. But they seem to be very sweet and genuine people. So after about 20 minutes, half an hour, I said, okay, I've listened to you very carefully, if you will care to listen to me. And they said, yes, brother, please. So I took my guitar out. And this is the song which I sang, Saif al-Muluk. And my voice was shaking, and I closed my eyes because I didn't know how they'd react. Because they usually say that music is forbidden. But when I'd finished and I opened my eyes, and they were enthralled, they loved it. And they said, this is what Islam is. And I said, yes, this is what it seems to be to me also. And these 2 other passengers also came out from their sleep. And the next 14, 16 hours, we had a beautiful conversation, dialogue, discourse. And openly, we talked about everything, about our understanding of life. And I asked them, I said, look, why are you against music? Everything comes from music. I mean, the human heart beats in rhythm. There's a melody, there's a vibration about everything in the universe. How can you be against music? And all the sacred scriptures from all over the world are supposed to be sung, whether it's the call to prayer or the Quran or the hymns or the Veds or whatever, I said, look, I agree that lots of music which I'm forced to listen to, I wish it was forbidden. But if music is good, if music is beautiful, it can only bring you closer to yourself. It can only bring you closer to another human being. It can only bring you closer to the reality, to truth, to God. And in the end, they said, we agree with you, but we've made a pledge, we've made a vow to our spiritual master, and we have to follow this way. And I said, okay, fair enough. Fare you well, bless you on your way. And in the end, we embraced and parted ways, the best of friends. And they invited me to come and join them in their preaching. I invited them to come and join a jam session here and there. And that was it. So. दानिशमंदों सुनो तमामी अर्ज फकीर करेंदा जो कोई आपे चंगा होवे सबनू भला तकैंदा ओ रहमत दामी पाक खुदाया बाग सुखा कर हरिया बूटा आस उम्मीद दा मेरे कर दे मेरे हरिया ओ लोए लोए पर ले कुड़िए जे तुद पाना परना शाम पई बिन शाम मोहम्मद कर जानी ने डरना ओ फंस गई जान शिकंजे अंदर जो बेलन बिच गन्ना रोन कहोन है वे मोहम्मद जी है बेता में मन्ना ओ सदा ना पागी बुल बुल बोले सदा ना बाग बहारा सदा ना मांगे हुस्न जवानी सदा ना सोहबत यार I just translated a few of the verses. It says the work of the gardener is to water the plants. The work of the owner is to reap the fruits. So the gardener shouldn't worry about when the fruits will appear. He should just keep watering the plants. That's his work. And then he says, don't rejoice at the death of your enemy, because your friend must also pass away. Just like every sun in the evening must set. And then he says, break these temples, break these mosques, break all this which is perishable, but never break the human heart, because that's where God lives. Kali Thagam Pani Pana Par Mashta Aave Malik Thagam Palle Bulana Aave Jana Oh Dushman Mare Te Khushi na kariye Sajna Di करते बिन होया मोहम्मद औरत ओ मस्जिद डाले मंदिर डाले डाले जो कुछ टहना एक बंदे का दिल ना ठानी रब दिला सब पूछेया बस जुलेखा किथे गई ये जवानी बोले जुलेखा इश्क तेरे विच ते छड़ी कुर्बानी ओ यूसुफ पूछेया बस जुलेखा किथे गई चिराग इश्क दा You're not in a hurry, are you? Sing another few songs then. Sagar Kinare. अच्छा, हाँ उसने हकीकी तो करना है. This is another beautiful kalam by Khaja Ghulam Farid from South Punjab in Seraiki language, and it says, it's a long kalam and it's a very repetitive. Kalam means just a piece of poetry, something which has been said, something which has been spoken, because writing came about later. All the old traditions are oral traditions. And over here he says, O beauty of truth, the eternal light, shall I call you chance or shall I call you necessity? Shall I call you mineral or plant or animal or human? Shall I call you faith or shall I call you blasphemy? Shall I call you Ram or Krishna or Sita? Shall I call you Ahmad or Noah or the flood? And he goes on and on using names and concepts from the different mythologies which emerged in our part of the world, which is, the Indian mythology and the Persian mythology and the Arabic mythology. And he goes through all of these concepts about God, And in the end he says, whatever I call you falls short of the mark, because you can't be, your essence can't be captured in a word. हुस्न हकीकी नूरे अज़ल है, हुस्न हकीकी नूरे अज़ल तन वाजिब ते इम्कान को ओ तनु खालिक ज़ात कदीम कहूँ, तनु हादिस खल्क़ जहान कहूँ, ओ तनु मुतलक महज़ वजूद कहूँ, तनु अलमियाँ आयान कहूँ, अरबा नफूस अकूल कहूँ, अशबा एयान निहान कहूँ, ओ तनु ऐन हकीकत माही अंत तनु अर्ज़ सिफ़त देशान कहूँ, अनबा कहूँ औज़ा कहूँ, बार कहूँ औसान कहूँ, ओ तनु अर्श कहूँ अफलाक कहूँ, तनु नाज़ नईम And I think for the end, one should always leave the table when one's slightly still wanting more.
मनम गुलाम अली हजार जाने गिरामी फिदाए नामे अली। ओ तू दीन मेरा है, तू ही ईमान मेरा है, जो दर्द है दिल में मेरे तू उसकी दवा है, आंखों में तू ही दिल में तू ही जलवा नवा है। दमादम मस्त कलंदर, दमादम मस्त कलंदर, सभी शाबाश कलंदर, सभी शाबाश कलंदर, कली दम दे अंदर हुसैनी लाल कलंदर, कली दम दे अंदर हुसैनी लाल कलंदर। दमादम मस्त कलंदर, दमादम मस्त कलंदर, सभी शाबाश कलंदर, सभी शाबाश कलंदर, कली दम दे शाह कलंदर, वली शाह कलंदर, रहे करनाल के अंदर, अली दम दम दे अंदर, दमादम मस्त कलंदर, दमादम मस्त कलंदर, सभी शाहबाज कलंदर, सभी शाहबाज कलंदर, अली दम दम दे अंदर, हुसैनी लाल कलंदर, अली दम दम दे अंदर, हुसैनी लाल कलंदर, दमादम मस्त 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 कलंदर, अली दम दम दे अंदर, अली दम दम दे अंदर, दमादम मस्त कलंदर, मस्त कलंदर, मस्त कलंदर, ले लाल मस्त कलंदर, मस्त कलंदर, मस्त कलंदर, ले लाल मस्त कलंदर, मस्त कलंदर, ले लाल मस्त कलंदर, मस्त कलंदर, ले लाल मस्त कलंदर, दमादम मस्त कलंदर, दमादम मस्त कलंदर, दमादम मस्त कलंदर, ओ सखी शाहबाज कलंदर